Okay, I'm ready. Can I have 4 of your beef patties with cheese? Of the large beef patties with cheese. No, no, just the patties. Charge it out as a large patty. I think it's like $1.29 a patty with cheese. There's like a selection you can go into for. Okay. So you got the four large patties with cheese and a large Diet Coke light ice, please. Diet Coke light ice, please. That's it. How are you?
All right, and you?
Good. Long day. I was craving it, so I had to come get it. All right. Have a good night. You. Oh, I thought you wanted to keep it. I thought you wanted to go shopping.
No, I'll be right back.
Oops. I'm so used to them giving my card back, I just automatically assumed I got my card back. Oh, I was going back up to the window so you have to do it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad somebody got me because I ain't got myself. It's been a long day today. I started at 8 o'clock this morning. It's 8:53 right now. I'm not going to go home and make dinner. And my boss is asking me, begging me, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? And they want me to stay, want me to stay, want me to stay later. And I was like, you know what? All right, this might be the perfect opportunity to have my little cheat meal, my little dirty keto meal, whatever you want to call it. Some of you naysayers out there that like to get on people for choosing to make choices that you don't choose. But anyhow, I come over here and I get my 4 patties with cheese and get my large drink sometimes. If I want a Diet Coke, a large Diet Coke, I have a large Diet Coke. It's an every once in a while thing. I started the gym back about, I think, 2 weeks ago, roughly. I'm down about 8 or 9 pounds total. Some new things have happened. My father at the end of the week went back into the hospital in the last 2 weeks, the second time now. So my dad has got high blood sugar and high oxygen levels, and they're worried because he's having some issues functioning. I wonder if I can move this camera closer. I don't know. I'm using one of those rubber mount mats. It seems to hold pretty good, but sometimes it can be a pain to get it right. So anyway, Pops is in the hospital right now. I just got the dog's lab results back. They said that her senior wellness panel, she's got too high a phosphorus, way too high. They said you need to stop feeding her all the meat all the time because she's not getting enough calcium, and the two of them are not balancing each other out, and it's causing a lot of nerve reactions. Her chemical imbalance is off. So one of the members on my keto group had shared with me, um, what was it? It was a bone meal that has higher calcium than phosphorus that I can give her. I can supplement and put in her food. So I'm gonna try that out. And then there was something else. Oh, so the lab part's good. They're saying her organs are fine, her enzymes are fine, she's functioning fine. But with the calcium and phosphorus, it may be a worry to start looking at thyroid. Different lab panels. I guess it cost about $250 for the lab panel set, and it's a breakdown of what's going on with your thyroid, because they've seen that in dogs, when their thyroid starts giving them problems, the thyroid can start acting up and causing your body to start pulling in too much phosphorus, and you start dumping calcium instead of being able to use it properly. So they want me to put her on calcium gluconate, half the dose of a regular serving size, and then 500 milligrams of vitamin D every day. And they think that that's going to help a lot of her sensation of people touching her and her reacting, and some of the joint pain that she's having. Also, they said she's got a slightly collapsed disc in between her L2 and L3 vertebrae, where she's been overactive her whole life, and she's almost pushed the disc partially out of its casing slot, whatever you will, and it's partially pushing into the sciatic nerve that runs along the spinal cord, and it's causing the sciatic nerve side that goes down into her rear left leg to act up to where she doesn't want to put a lot of pressure on it all the time. She almost babies her rear left leg. And at first I thought it was some kind of hip dysplasia, because those dogs are prone to that. But when the x-rays came back, they said that's not the case at all. Her hips are completely fine. She doesn't have any kind of other joint problems at all. It's that one disc between L2 and L3 that's really giving her some problems. And they said what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to baby her. She's no running, no jumping, just regular walking. And if she walks only one time a day, if not, it's just that kind of out in the yard, nice and easy. She's going to be a couch, bed dog. You're basically going to have to treat her like she's an old lady, because she is. And you're just going to have to keep her food on point. They said if you want to permanently fix it, if it gets to the point where she's uncomfortable, you are going to have to have surgery done, and you got to go up to Madison, Wisconsin for that, because they got to specialize in that. And what ends up happening is they take the L2 and the L3 disc and they grind out the material that's in between it, and they fuse it together, so it's one joint. And when they fuse it together, that'll take pretty much all her pain away, and she won't be uncomfortable. But somebody popped up on my main Facebook page and said, don't do that yet. Spend a couple $100 and take her to a doggy chiropractor. They seem to know more about this stuff than just your regular vet, and they may be able to actually stretch her out, maneuver her, free up some of that joint pain and pressure that's been building up, and it may relax her spine some, so that vertebrae, or the collapsed disc, can actually start to draw itself back in, and it may take some pressure off of that sciatic nerve to where she's not having that issue. And then you'll just have to monitor her and keep her from being so super active, and she may show you that she's completely fine. She don't need surgery and stuff like that. So there's a number of things going on right now with my father being in the hospital. The dog having the disc problems, me trying to put in the extra hours at night to try to come up and save $5,000 so I can get the surgery for her if it comes down to that. So I'm having to work 11 and 12-hour days just to make sure I make those good hours every week so I can put $5,000 away for the dog. A lot of people would tell me I'm stupid. It's a dog. Just let her live her life as comfortable as possible now, as long as it's manageable. But when it gets too painful, at that point, because of her age, you may want to just let her go. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how I feel about that. This dog has been with me through everything. I mean, when I came back from Iraq, she was there. Through all of my ups and downs, she was there. I mean, she's been a great dog. She's been like a best friend to me. So to think about putting her down because of money seems really stupid to me. I almost feel like sick to my stomach, um, even thinking about it. You know, that's like saying, oh, you're going to kill your kid. I can't do that. I cannot make that choice. I can't. I would have to have the vet tell me, look, she's in so much pain right now. She's not savable. And then I would have to try different options to even see if that's the case. I couldn't just say I'm going to put her down because of that. I just, she's too near and dear to my heart. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. You know, my father being in the hospital and a diabetic and overweight and everything else, and trying to stay busy at the new job, putting as much money away as I can for Paige so I can get her to her surgery. It's overwhelming. It's super overwhelming, and I don't know what else to do other than to continue to try and grind it out. So interesting enough, today my boss says, so the keto diet, could I do it and not eat super healthy like everybody else? Because I'm not interested in that. I still like going to fast food. I go to the racetrack all the time. I'm going all the time. So I can tell you right now, I could never commit to making meals at home and doing all this stuff. Could I do it while I'm gone? And I said, well, if you're telling me that's your only option and that's what you're interested in, yes, you can. So he says, do you think maybe you could get me and you lunch today? I'll give you money for my lunch and you go pick it up and show me what you would buy me. I said, okay. I said, do you want full-blown keto, or do you want kind of close to what keto would be? And he says, just give me something that I could have, that you think that would make my health improve, rather than me eating the fried junk and stuff all the time, the bread, the pastas, and the giant dipped sandwiches at all the restaurants and stuff. And I says, okay. I got you. I'm going to go to Wendy's, which I didn't know they have this at Wendy's, so y'all listen up. And I'm going to order you a taco salad. Hold the chips. I don't want the chips. Full salad. And I'm going to order you 2 beef patties with cheese. Now, granted, this is not the best option, but this is going to help you start moving along health and weight-wise. And he said, that's what I want, because my boss is overweight. Way overweight. So I go here and I ordered a taco salad for him. I get him a couple hamburger patties. I take it back to work, and he ate it for lunch, and he said, oh my God, dude, this is phenomenal. And I said, I told you, man, there's nothing that restrictive about a ketogenic diet. You just cut out the junk. And that's it. I mean, you think it's not rocket science. You cut out the sugar and man-made carbs, and if you can, the highly processed stuff. But sometimes you can get by with eating some of the things, hot dogs, lunch meats. You know, everything has some kind of processing to it. It's just what type of processing you're trying to keep out of your life. So when he ate the salad and the hamburger patties, hell, he's still going. This was at noon. He's still going right now, and he hasn't even ate. He said he's not even hungry. I said, well, there's some truth to it, man. You're eating a lot of protein, a lot of fat. You're keeping your carbs to low glycemic stuff, and you're going to do great if you just think outside the box. I love Wendy's patties. I wish it wasn't so late and I could do a better video, but unfortunately, you know, I'm trying not to be on YouTube and Facebook all the time, but I've been putting out a lot of articles lately that have been going, I wouldn't say viral, but I put out an article and I shared it kind of all over the place, and in 1 week it got viewed 11,000 times, and shared like 50 something times. And then I put out another article about protein fear and protein fear mongering and stuff like that, where these vegan doctors tell you that if you eat too much protein in one sitting, it's going to turn to chocolate cake in your blood, which is not the case at all. And I wrote about my experiment that I did where I had 2.5 pounds of beef in one sitting, and my blood glucose never rose more than 9 points, and my ketones stayed constantly at 1.1, 1.2 the whole entire time. And basically the reason I did that was in defense to myself, because Dr. Joel Kahn, that idiot vegan doctor, was telling me, oh, you eat too much protein, it's going to be sugar in the blood, and your glucose is going to be all this and that. And I said, dude, you're full of crap, man. You don't know anything about what you're talking about. You just talk to push your rhetoric, and you talk to make people stay sick and keep coming back to you for the insulin and the metformin and everything else, and their skin conditions and all these other things, when what you're saying is not even true. It's such a blanket statement. People that have an issue with protein are people that typically have some kind of medical condition. Type 1 diabetics, type 2 diabetics, people that, they may have certain underlying disorders and stuff like that. But the majority of people can eat large amounts of protein and never have problems. So I wrote about my experiment, and what people should realize. If you've been eating a protein deficient diet for so long, your body is trying to save its muscle mass that it has. It's trying to preserve what it has. So it's lacking essential fatty acids and amino acids. When you go for long periods of time without good quality protein and fat, your body will actually start slowly eating away its own muscle. It needs those essential amino acids, so it's going to get them from somewhere. And if you don't feed them to your body will take them from you. And a lot of people will say on a ketogenic diet or a carnivorous diet, they start losing weight early on. And they'll start losing weight, and then all of a sudden it stops. And then they lose inches, but they gain mass. They start looking more full and strong, and they start feeling stronger and stuff, and they think something's wrong. There's nothing wrong. You're replacing what you've been deficient in for so long and making bad choices in for so long with good quality, essential amino acids and fatty acids. Your body is building itself back up muscle-wise, muscle integrity, skeletal muscle, things of this nature. They're starting to become healthier. So you may be losing inches and gaining weight at the same time because you're actually repairing yourself cellularly, muscularly. You're just doing a number of good things for yourself. And a lot of people get scared about that. They think that, oh, I'm gaining weight, something's wrong. No, that doesn't mean anything's wrong. You could be going through a building phase. Vegan Gains was on the prowl again. Decided that he wanted to attack porn star or previous porn star Jenna Jameson because she has 100% given herself to God. She's a Christian. She's pro-life. She's a Republican. She does the keto diet, and she swears by it. And she put out a tweet saying people that choose to abstain from animal products because of whatever ideology they believe in, it doesn't make any sense, because the very principle, which this is true, and this is kind of my own words, the very principle, the very foundation of what your body, cellular-wise, muscular-wise, is built on is essential, is protein, amino acids, and fatty acids. Your whole body runs off this. The whole structure is based off of this. And a lot of people think that they need to focus more on fat all the time. Although it is important, it does help establish good hormone levels, satiety, things of this nature. It's not what people make it out to be. Protein is really the bigger determining factor on what happens muscular-wise, joint-wise, cellular-wise. You get cut, and it takes you forever to heal, and you're trying to figure out why. Well, you may not be eating enough protein. The amount of protein that you eat and how you gear yourself towards your dietary needs will end up speeding up or changing up how you recover from certain things as well. It's pretty good. Oh, I haven't had that in so long. My gosh. It's like my reward uh, reward bank is going off like crazy. Dopamine just constantly getting released and just like, oh, I'm so happy right now. But I know, I understand that pleasure sensation is given based off of, uh, taste buds, um, cephalic insulin response, getting ready to prepare for food. That's another thing I covered too. Is a lot of people think that um, I can eat all these artificial sweeteners and stuff like that because they're zero glycemic and I'm not going to spike insulin. And that's a bold-faced lie. All of these doctors that tell you that stuff, stevia, erythritol, all these things, fasting and using these things and using fat and stuff while you're fasting because it doesn't spike insulin, it's okay. And those are lies. I mean, I used to think about entertaining those ideas and I used to partake in sharing that information, and now I'm just like, no. It doesn't matter who you are. If you put out something like that, I call people on it immediately. You have a natural response to food. And whenever you eat something, regardless if it's sweet, if it's savory and it's herby or whatever it is, your body starts preparing to digest food. And part of that is that cephalic insulin response. It's where your body says, okay, let's start getting ready. Let's start secreting a little insulin. Let's get ready to start shuttling nutrients and stuff like that. And it's based on taste buds, dopamine reaction, enzymatic reaction in your stomach, and then cephalic insulin response. All these things are all tied in together. It's how the body operates. And when people say, oh, I could eat as much monk fruit and stevia and all these other things as I want because it's low glycemic, I'm not going to spike my insulin levels. That's not true. Insulin's only purpose is to not shuttle sugar only. That's not the only purpose for it. And I think a lot of people get wrapped up in the mainstream keto dogma of this is how it works when they actually are being partially told the truth and they're not explained exactly how it works. And if that's something that you guys would be interested in, I could take like a Saturday, put some notes and stuff together to kind of make it a little bit more informative, go to a park or something somewhere or a restaurant and sit down in a nice atmosphere and do a video talking about that. I'd be more than willing to do that, but I need to know that that's something that you want first. But there's a lot of, none of these keto doctors get into that kind of stuff. They just don't, I don't think they really understand it that much. As well as I don't think that they have the time to research it and study it as much as other people do. Like lately I've been conversing with people that are top of their game in some of these like performance keto channels, carnivore channels, these authors and nutritionists and doctors and stuff that we don't even really converse with all that much, that we barely even know who they are. And I've been talking to them and I'm like, man, the research that you do and how smart you are is above and beyond these mainstream keto doctors and stuff that claim to know about all this stuff. And it's sad that we put so much time into the face of significant people that are on social media, and there are other people out there behind the scenes that are doing the legwork that those people are not doing, and they're just crushing it. They're running their own experiments, their own labs with people and stuff, their own groups and stuff with people, and they just do not get enough like recognition for what they do. And they talk about these little nuances and stuff like that that these other doctors and nutritionists and people don't talk about. They get into the real science behind it and just dig deep like Bart K does. They will just dig into it and dig into it until they're exhausted, which that's amazing that they would even be willing to do something like that. So I know you've heard before that, you know, because it's fat, because it's sugar, because it's meat or something like that, you're not going to get an insulin, you're not going to get a blood sugar response. You know what? For the most part, in the grand scheme of things, that's somewhat correct. Is it 100% truthful, factual, down to the point? No, it's not. It all depends on how much you want to know. You know, you could go get your, what do they call it, 21 and me, or 23 and me, or whatever the heck it is, where you send off your saliva and your blood work and stuff like that. You could go get that stuff done and figure out more of what's going on inside your body than you'll ever figure out in any kind of group or doctor's office or anything like that. You can figure out if maybe you got the MTHFR or something, or MTFHR or whatever mutation. You can figure out maybe if you're having problems with absorbing B vitamins, and you need certain types of methylated B vitamins because that part of your life, or that part of you, you're deficient, or something's not working correctly. Those things are going to tell you much more than just any kind of specific keto group or channel or something like that. But I'm going to end this video. And here's how I'm going to end this video. Jimmy Moore, the author of Keto Clarity, Cholesterol Clarity, one of the original pioneers to push the keto movement, to educate and teach ketogenics around the world. One of the first guys to put pen to paper and put out books so people all over the world can read it. He got his channel removed. Jimmy Rants was removed. I did a video about it. I broke the story. A bunch of other people started talking about it after I broke the story. His channel's back up and running as of, I think, like, 5 or 6 hours ago or something like that. Maybe it's closer to, like, maybe let's just call it 6 to 10 hours ago. His channel got put back up, and you'll be able to find his stuff now. So that's good. That's excellent. I don't know what the reason was. I don't know if he was thinking that maybe his trigger word for one of his videos that he recently did, he talked about running suicides, where you touch the lines and you run back and forth as fast as you can. It's hard to do it when you do it repetitiously over and over and over again. I remember back in basketball practice, we would start on the baseline, and we'd run to the free throw line, back to the baseline, run to the half court line, back to the baseline, back to the free throw line, and the other side, back to the baseline to baseline, and then you start over again. Boom, 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 boom. And we're running the whole basketball court over and over and over again. But you can pick multiple points, and you can do your own suicides in between lines in a parking lot. It could be whatever. I don't know, maybe this video would be banned now that I've said that word so many times. But he said that was an algorithm trigger, and he thinks that may have been one of those things that got his channel deleted, was because he used that type of talk, mentioning that word, and YouTube is very sensitive about it. So I'll be interested to see if this video stays up after I've mentioned it that many times just now. But he also said that he had an influx of bad vegan comments and stuff about 2 weeks before the channel got taken down. There's a lot of people that have a bunch of theories that because of people like him, a lot of these companies aren't able to sell as much of their product and stuff as possible. So he's really making an impact on, Coca-Cola and Pringles and Kraft and all these other people, and it's probably hurting on their pocket by the amount of people that are talking about ketogenics now. As a matter of fact, today after I brought the taco salad back from my boss, there's a young lady sitting in the office. She's a very pretty lady, and she's sitting there, and she says, "Just hamburger patties? Are you on the keto diet?" Like, for some reason, people literally think the keto diet is just all meat. I had to tell her for a second. It's like, you're thinking of the carnivore diet. Keto does have like avocados and olive oil, avocado oil, green leafy vegetables and stuff, and some berries and things in it. Keto is not just this meat that you're thinking. And she said, "Oh, well, I just want to let you know my mom's on the keto diet, and she eats the green salads and the avocado oil and olive oil, and she salts everything. And she said that her digestion has completely changed. And my mom never even really learned how to do it until she started just reading little articles and stuff on the internet. And she figured out that butter's okay and salt's okay and green vegetables are okay and you can have real meat. And she said she doesn't follow any macro plan or anything at all. She just literally started eating fat, salt, meat, and green vegetables and just drinking water from time to time. She has no more problems. She's lost over 50 pounds. Her digestion that she's been going to the doctor for years has completely changed. So she does the keto diet now. And I said, wow, that's awesome. And she said, yeah, I got a few friends that um, were overweight later in their, soft, not junior, senior year in high school. And then right end of their senior year into the first year of college, they actually started doing the keto diet on their own, and they're all super healthy now. And she says, I don't know why mainstream talks so much junk about it when you see so many people's lives changing. So that's exactly my thoughts, and that's why I don't focus on mainstream anymore, because I know it's just all a bunch of talk. It's just they're scared. They're scared that people are going to learn how to heal without a doctor, without big pharma. Um, they're learning how to take their own life into their own hands and make a change for themselves because somebody else is not going to do it for them. And regardless of what you do, vegan diet, carnivore diet, keto diet, these are elimination type diets to get the junk out of your life so you can start to heal. Now, if I had to take a look at which of the three I would place above the others, I would say that a ketogenic diet is by far the most versatile. But if I wanted to look at something to say what would be best for autoimmune conditions, um, I would probably say carnivore. Carnivore is a highly elimination based diet, and it works with autoimmune conditions like you would not believe. Actually, substantially better than keto because of how eliminating it is. There's no, anti-nutrients. There's no oxalates and stuff in there. It's just it's a all-around extreme elimination type diet that seems to be very good and very fulfilling. So a lot of people do it. A lot of people cycle keto and carnivore. Keto, I would say, people could adapt more to their lives in general. Carnivore would be the ultimate like medical condition diet because when you break it down, a carnivore diet is just animal products, water, and salt. That's what I tell people. Animal meat, water, and salt. And if you become deficient, cramping at anything, I've told people before that adding some potassium from no salt or something in wouldn't be that big a deal. Or you're going to have to increase the amount of animal products you eat so you can actually get more potassium. But when it comes down to it, I would put the keto diet first for most versatile and most adapting to people's lifestyles so they're not eliminating food so much. But if I found out somebody was extremely medical crippled by multiple conditions, I would definitely highly recommend a carnivore diet over keto for those specific things because it is so eliminating. If it's just a diabetic that wants some variety or they're just wanting to clear up some skin conditions, keto would be fine. But if it's just a person that wants to lose weight and they don't have any major health conditions and they're working on their digestion, I would choose keto. But if I found out somebody had a severe autoimmune condition or a severe diabetes case, neuropathy, whatever it may be, I would definitely try to convince them that I would do more of a carnivore-based diet than a ketogenic diet, just to get those leafy greens, the fibers, the oxalates, the anti-nutrients and stuff out of your diet, just to make sure that you're getting better forms of retinol, heme iron, good quality omegas and stuff like that. A lot of people want to push flax seeds and stuff like that, but there's actually plenty of information out there that points you in the right direction, telling you that flax is not a highly digestible thing to begin with. And even though the omega ratios may be phenomenal in flax, your body can't break flax down like it can, say a 12-ounce steak. One of the biggest misconceptions that I constantly see, and I see people recommending, which is terrible, is drink big glasses of water with your dinner. Well, if you're on a carnivore or a keto diet and you're eating a heavy protein dinner, lunch, breakfast, drinking water is not an ideal situation while you're eating. Eat your food first and wait about a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour later, and then hydrate. Or hydrate about an hour before. But that stomach acid and stuff that you have in there, you want that to be there to help break and digest your food. When you start diluting it with water and stuff like that, that's when you start getting that more gassy feeling, that pressure feeling, that bloated feeling and stuff. It's because you're making it harder for your body to break down those foods. And I see just way too many people, keto docs, people that do keto, that have been doing keto for a long time, they don't realize when they make those recommendations of drinking water all the time and not explaining when you should and when you shouldn't, they're doing more damage sometimes than they are good. Sure, you're recommending a keto diet that's going to help people heal, but if they're sitting down to a if they're sitting, sorry about the video quality too, I'm sitting outside in the dark, I've worked all day real late. If they're sitting down to a heavy protein based meal and they've got this big giant, summer water glass full of ice water, and they're chugging that thing down while they're trying to digest all this protein and fat, they're not doing themselves any service by doing that. Make yourself a good quality succulent steak, chicken thighs, preferably something with fat on it, not too lean, and sit there and enjoy your food. Enjoy your food. Don't douse yourself and fill yourself full of tons of water, and then your body has a harder time digesting things because you've just mixed all this water in there, and now it's taking even longer to actually break things down. So I let a girl on my group about a month ago. She runs her own keto group. She's only been doing it for about 8 months, and I didn't know that other people had had problems with her before as well. And one of the things that I always recommend somebody when they start a ketogenic diet is, please don't make yourself out to be bigger than what you are. If you've only been doing keto for 8 months, don't come to the forefront and try to bring a bunch of people's lives into your life and say, I'm going to teach you how to do keto. At 8 months, you haven't even begun to understand exactly what's going on with a ketogenic diet. You're feeling the effects of it, and you're learning to adapt to the lifestyle. But until you've been doing that for more than a year and a half, 2 years, you're never going to fully understand exactly what goes on. You're never going to work with enough people at that point to get the experience to say, oh, so you've got an upper hiatal area pressure, and you've been getting that while you eat meat, but you don't seem to have that pressure when you're eating vegetables. I think what you're having a problem with is your digestion. Are you drinking a bunch of water when you eat meat? Oh yeah, I have a big giant glass of ice water every night when I have my dinner. Well, quit doing that. Eat your dinner, leave the water out of it for right now, and then give yourself some time to digest that. Well, she came back and says, you know what? That's actually working for me. That made the situation better. I don't have as much pressure anymore. Well, now I want to add something in here. Are you having gallbladder problems? Oh yeah, actually I have my gallbladder removed. Okay, you're going to have to add in some ox bile salts or some digestive enzymes to help break down that extra fat and that protein and stuff. You need that. Wow, why didn't my doctor tell me this? Well, your doctor should have covered this with you when they removed your gallbladder. Well, they made it seem like it wouldn't be that big a deal if I just stayed away from fat, but I know that I really like fat, and it helps me heal and lose weight, and I feel good off of it. My appetite's under control, so I want it in my life. Maybe I should take these digestive enzymes. Well, a week later, after taking the digestive enzymes, completely different person. No pressure, no pain, no nothing at all. And now you've taken yourself as just regular Joe Schmo after a few years of doing this, and you've learned some things along the way, and you're like, bro, like, I can literally answer people's questions just like a doctor can, just from observing, just from watching people, just from studying, just from practicing things in my own journey and getting out there. I didn't do all that until I had done it for quite a few years to get involved in people's lives, so I really knew and understood exactly what was going on, and I'm still learning new things every day, and I've been doing this for 15 years, on and off, 15 years. So where is the common sense in somebody doing keto for 6 months, 8 months, a year, and then all of a sudden they've become a professional, and they're recommending all these crazy recommendations to other people? Then I have to take a step back and look at it and say, you know, you clearly still don't understand what it takes to help other people and make recommendations because you're not even there yet. I can see by the way you talk, you recommend, uh, you explain things. It's just not there. You're not at that level of where somebody could really make an impact on somebody else's life without having to worry about, are you really harming them? The one girl said, keep plenty of water around, drink water all day. No. You drink to your satiety. She was recommending half your body weight in ounces of water. Again, big no, big lie. That is not true. Half your body weight in ounces of water for somebody that's 400 pounds, 300 pounds, that's 150 to 200 ounces of water. Drinking that much water per day and not pounding yourself full of sodium and potassium to keep your electrolyte levels up will diminish you quickly. You think cramping by being dehydrated is tough. Try being dehydrated with low mineral count. That almost makes you feel like you want to go to the hospital. So drinking massive amounts of water like that, like this lady was recommending, is going to do nothing but make people sick. So that was her general recommendation. So I had to fix that right away. And I thought it'd be nice and correct some things rather than removing her from my group. Maybe she could gain something from the knowledge that I've learned over the years. Or maybe she would think that I'm the biggest jerk in the world. I don't know. So I responded accordingly. I said the salt thing, you're telling people to minimize salt around 2,000 milligrams. It's not safe. It's not true. That seems more like a standard medical recommendation, which we're trying to stay away from standard medical recommendations. People could have up to 3,500, 5,000, 6,000 milligrams of sodium per day without medical conditions and be completely fine and feel more normal off that than low sodium. So that's a dangerous recommendation that you're blanketly making. And then the water recommendation is terrible. You should not be doing that. Half your body weight in ounces of water. Drink to your satiety. Make sure you have a light straw colored urine and you're fine. Your electrolyte balances are probably great. As long as you're not cramping, you don't feel bad, your labs show up good and stuff. What have you got? Don't change anything. Keep doing what you're doing. But then she started getting into keeping peanuts and berries around so you can snack in between meals to make sure that you don't make bad choices. No. So you went from eating 5 meals a day to 3 keto meals a day, but then you're forcing yourself with berries and peanuts and everything else in between. You're keeping your insulin levels jacked up in between meals. Your body's never able to properly repair itself. It's never able to work on what it needs to take care of internally, eating multiple times throughout the day like this, because half of your energy has to go to doing these daily tasks. Mom duties, dad duties, job duties, mailman, whatever, athlete, whatever you are, doctor. So you've got half your energy going to your daily life that you have to partake in being a professional somewhere of some sort, whether it's a parent or out in the workforce. And then the other 50% has to go to digesting food and getting it to where it needs to be appropriately. When are you ever going to work on repairing your body? Your body's not going to have a time to do all that stuff if you keep its insulin levels and sugar levels jacked up all the time, eating multiple times throughout the day. You're shutting all that stuff down because now your body's saying, well, you're feeding me. I need to find a place to store all this stuff. I need to digest this stuff. I need to create more bile. I need to do this function and that function. You don't have time to repair stuff cellularly, wounds and things like that. So that stuff kind of gets put on hold or slowed down while you're eating multiple times throughout the day. So there was a number of things with this lady that I had to say, just I don't get where you're getting these recommendations. It's like you've been finding somebody that created their own 2019 version of keto that has never researched anything and is following some bad advice from other YouTubers or something like that. I just don't understand where you're getting your info. And then I seen the icing on the cake was only fast between 10 to 12, maximum 14 hours per day. Anything beyond that is harmful to the body and all this. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this girl knows nothing of what she's talking about. Nothing of what she's talking about. So I said, look, I'm going to remove this because I don't want my people in my group believing that this is how you do keto, because this is nowhere near how you do keto. This is some beginner's keto from somebody that's hungry, trying to learn, but yet they don't understand. and they're kind of making stuff up along the way so they can be corrected by people, so they can be taught, and in the long run eventually getting it. But the way you're explaining this stuff, you've got a lot of learning to do, and you don't need to be running your own group helping people this way. It's just not safe. It's not healthy. And, I was nice about it, and I had to remove her from the group because she tried posting more stuff like that. She wasn't very respectful in that manner. Um, and there's just those type of people out there. They don't know what they're recommending. They don't know exactly what they're doing. They don't even really understand how to do it still. But yet, they get 6 to 8 months in, 12 months in, and they think all of a sudden out of nowhere, oh, I know everything about keto, so I'm going to go ahead and create my own group, and I'm going to start teaching people keto. No, it's silly. If you guys seen the amount of work that I put in, the articles that I write behind the scenes, the amount of conversations that I get with people, the arguing back and forth with vegans and doctors and everything else, it's unreal. It's unhealthy. Because I'm hungry. I want to know what's out there. I never want to stop doing videos. I never want to stop helping people. I never want to stop reading studies and learning about figures from the past that we didn't put any effort into learning about. I want everyone to know about William Banting. I want everyone to know about Dr. John Rollo from 1790. I want everyone to know about Wilhelm, the Arctic explorer from back in the early 1900s that only ate meat and fish, threw the organs away. They didn't need organs. They didn't see the need for it. They were out in the Arctic with nothing but just red meat and fat. I want people to know about these people because they are the key figures into that lead us into what we're dealing with today in the keto carnivore community. I want these people to be talked about and admired and adored in some form or fashion because they're very important. Regardless if we like certain doctors today, Dr. Eric Westman, Dr. John Lemansky, Dr. Berry, Dr. Berg, Dr. Boz, all these people, there was doctors before them that did the basis of the work that they very much base their information off of now. And if it wasn't for the doctors before them, the Arctic explorers before them, the people that tried the crazy experiments back in the day, these people may not have gotten some of the inspiration that they have today to teach us what they know. It's because of these other people that they're able to do their job today and get the information that they've gotten. It's because of the amount of times somebody has failed at something or succeeded at something, and it has become a success story or a failure story that we have the data that we have today and that we continue to have. Those people aren't respected enough, and we often give credit to the wrong people. Or maybe we just don't give enough credit to the people that helped the people that we admire today. Okay, let's close this up. My dinner's done. I need to get home. I'm very tired. I'm sure the dog is probably a little worried, seeing as she was last let out about 2 hours ago. So I need to get home, get her medication, put her in the bed, and shower and relax. It's been fun. Those of you that have stayed with me the entire time during this discussion, because I don't get on here every night anymore, I appreciate you. Those of you that have been sharing my channel lately, I also appreciate you and thank you for doing that. It means everything to me. Just in the last 2 weeks alone, I think my subscriber count has went up about 100 people, so I really, really, really appreciate you guys. And thanks for everything again. Let's do this again. If you have any ideas on what you want me to talk about, let me know. Give me some words of encouragement down low in the message box, and let me know what you want talked about, and I will research it just like a scientist would, and I'll present it to you however you want it presented, and that's what I'll do. Thank you. I appreciate you. Be blessed and have a good night.